Well, hello, welcome to Quebec and welcome to Montreal. It's free practice 2 time here at the Canadian GP. Here in Montreal, named after Mount Royal, the hill in the heart of the city. No building can be taller than the cross on Mount Royal. It's the film capital of Canada, and so there should be some very legendary shots today on this circuit. Gilles Villeneuve, named after Gilles Villeneuve, who won here 43 years ago. It's a 32 kilometers of underground tunnels, but we're focused on the 2.7 miles of overground tarmac this evening. 14 corners, 6 to the left, 8 to the right, and there's a 362-meter run from pole down to turn 1, and 3 DRS zones to aid your overtaking. I am the Biggles, and joining me in the casting box again will be Feral. G'day, mate. How was the free practice 1 session earlier?
Yeah, it was quite interesting, especially due to the FIA now intervening in the porpoising and getting a new technical regulation out this weekend. I haven't really found anything about that yet, though. It is not like it is completely in the dark. We know that they will monitor basically the vertical acceleration of those cars and define a metric on how much of this acceleration the driver is allowed to take throughout the lap. This made for some quite interesting time, as we have seen Fernando Alonso putting it in P3, which was very unexpected, and actually Sainz being in second place, while Charles Leclair only managed to put his car into fifth, as Ferrari wasn't really complaining about the porpoising, but they were having issues with that. So they will have to go over their complete aerodynamics once again, and well, I hope they will recover from that, because it will be very, very important for their championship efforts.
Absolutely. Welcome, everybody out there in the YouTube world. We're bringing this, of course, the Canadian FP2 Watchalong here, presented by Racing Statistics. That actually was interesting, as you mentioned, too, because one of the engineers was actually saying that about 5.5 to 6 G vertical lateral load is on some of those drivers during porpoising. So as you can imagine, that it's quite an effect. You even saw Lewis Hamilton, didn't you, just barely crawling out of that car, as he explained, being one of the most painful races that he had to do in Baku last week.
Yeah,
Almost
well,
here.
I don't know. I think that Mercedes has been a little bit over dramatic there, in the hopes of the FIA to step up and define a minimum ride height. As Christian Horner said, if he was having that issue, he would tell his drivers to complain as much as possible as well. While I don't know, this isn't very telling to the philosophy of Toto Wolff there, but clearly shows the Karening of Christian Horner. But I think that they did kind of play that whole thing up, and are just very unhappy with the solution the FIA brings to the table now.
Well, yeah, exactly. And that's what Russell is head of the Drivers Association, I believe. So he was happy that they're addressing the porpoising. Yes, guys, I know it's very late for some of you guys in Europe, and now you know how we feel in the Americas, how I feel in the Americas sometimes when we have to get up early in the morning to watch some of those European races, or if you're in Australia, where I'm originally from, that's even worse. It's more painful. But thank you very much. I know it's late in there, but yeah, 8 more minutes to go, and an hour or so for your practice session. And yeah, John, just to answer that question out there, will Leclerc get a grid penalty? No. FIA has just recently announced that a lot of those drivers with 3 engine unit or power unit changes and stuff like that are allowed to be not getting penalized. I believe that one of the drivers will get penalized because they're on 4th unit, something like that. But there's a lot of drivers actually on 3 units that they've replaced power units and jazz
That
like
is,
that.
with the engine failure in Baku, Leclerc will need a fourth engine.
Oh, he will need a 4th. If he needs a 4th,
Yeah,
then yes, he will get a
yeah.
penalty. If you're
There
on
there
3,
will be.
you're okay, I believe.
Yeah. No, you have 3 engines at your disposal. The 4th one will bring a penalty, and they had 2 engine failures already this season. So they have their first engine they were running back in Bahrain, which is pretty much done for. Then they have 2 engines that failed, so he will be on his 4th engine. And it makes sense to basically get this penalty done in Canada because it is a very fast and flowing track with a lot of overtaking opportunities. So starting from the back with a good engine is not as penalizing as I don't know, worst case scenario, you have to do that in Monaco. You put it on pole, you get a 10 place grid penalty, you start 11th, and if there is no chaos in the race, you would finish 11th. So it is a good time now to get this over with. So because they will probably have to even go back and resort to a fifth engine this season. If they really want to get performance out of that fourth one and stay competitive with it. So if they change that now, they have more control on where to bring in that fifth engine and take another grid penalty, which will probably be on another track that is rather good for overtaken.
Of course, yep. They are well aware of that situation. Of course, it'll apply to most of the teams as well, as we've got a 22 race season. Just reading through the chat as well too, as somebody from the Middle East says the Middle East is the best time for watching Formula One. You're exactly right, mate, because you're in the middle of the world essentially, so you can cover both those time zones all around. Of course, Australian, the Asian time zones. We still have the Japanese Grand Prix course coming up. Excited to be back in Canada, of course, because we haven't been here since 2020, before 2020, right? That's right. The Canadian, we had to wait quite some
a while.
time now.
The last two races were missed there.
Absolutely. Nicholas Latifi's home track as well here in Canada this weekend, as well as Lance Stroll. So, but this is something, it's a bit tricky for him because his career is a bit sketchy going into the next season.
Yeah, we won't know if we see Latifi again. I personally doubt it. Especially with Piastri standing on the sidelines, really ready to jump in for quite a while now.
And believe this is the first time he's actually racing this track in Formula One, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the first time in his Formula One career. That's his third season in Formula One. So that we should get, obviously, about 5 minutes, just under 5 minutes. Where are you guys in the world located? We'd always like to ask that at the start before we get ready for the practice session.
Yeah, we ask that a lot, and it's always kind of interesting as I don't know, as I am monitoring 4 screens here. I sometimes miss something in chat, and it just seems like we have an audience always from very, very different places. Like now it's like Sydney, South Texas, Toronto, Sweden. Yeah, we have. I've seen Sweden quite some times. So
yeah, all around the world, mate. Yeah, Netherlands,
Leo
Switzerland,
and Schweizer.
Somebody from your neck of the woods there. Australia, Bob. Thank you very much. Welcome back. Yep, guys, it's good to be back here for the second week running.
Yeah, we got
Bangladesh,
Swiss people here. That is nice. 2 Swiss here.
We should give you a feedback about the weather conditions. Still looks a bit overcast, but some of you guys are asking if it's wet or not. We're just finding out in a minute, as they're just doing the track guide right now. That I just kind of did your little brief track guide at the start of the practice session here, but fortunately I don't do it as good as Crafty would. Anyway. Yeah, it was raining, wasn't it, a few days earlier? Pretty hard.
Yesterday it was flooding the track. Like really, I think you have posted the video there of that DHL truck basically becoming almost a submarine there.
Yes. Absolutely. It's a boat. Kind of reminds you of Spa, doesn't it? Last year.
Yeah. Ooh, Leo is he is Swiss, but he's from the French part. Gabon? My French sucks, I'm sorry.
Still better than mine. So welcome along, guys. It actually looks like clear skies at the moment for the weather. It doesn't, it looks quite sunny.
It does. Lots of sunglasses and hats. It looks very sold out to me. I haven't seen any statistics on how many people are attending the race yet, but usually that will be coming up at one point. I'm fairly sure.
A lot of people in shirts and shorts and stuff like that. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
actually quite warm in Europe too. I've been hearing.
Yeah, we
In
had
the
like
United Kingdom as well.
yeah, now we had like 30 degrees here today, and I am not built for the heat. I am dying inside here. I am basically just a puddle of sweat and filth here.
It's sold out apparently that day. Yeah, this is the great thing I love about you guys. Thank you very much for tuning in because I mean, racing statistics. We have everybody here who's fantastic with the statistics. They get all the information.
Yeah,
If we don't know something, you guys know it, and you tell us immediately. That's what we love. Please continue to
absolutely.
do that.
I was glad in free practice one that I had like one or two things I really didn't know or look up, and was just badly prepared that I can just throw into chat and they knew it. So yeah, Morgan, 30 degrees is not hot at all. I'm talking 30 degrees Celsius. My dude, that's like 95 Fahrenheit.
Well, for you Europeans, that's not. I mean, Australia, you get to 40, mid 40s sometimes in summer. So yeah, but
Yeah.
then again, we're dry, hot country down
Yeah,
under,
well, but
depending
the
on.
houses are built for that. You know, Swiss houses
Yeah.
are built for winter, so they are constructed to keep heat in. So if we have like 30 degrees outside, you have like 35 degrees inside.
Max confirmed. Sorry, Morgan confirmed that one out there in Australia. The average temperature is 42. Yeah, exactly. But there you go. You're right. You're built for it. A lot of people I've been chatting to earlier today when I was casting some other races were saying, well, we don't have air conditioners, Biggles. We don't, we're not designed for this sort of heat. I'm like, yeah, you're right. So they've got their fans cranked out, running flat out to try to cool you down like yourself.
Yeah.
Are
So
you
yeah,
taking fun of my penal colony, Australia? Yep.
the
Don't worry.
the weather forecast I have been looking at actually said that there is a 50% chance of rain for this session. And
Ooh, I like
apparently
that.
in and apparently in Canada, especially around the track, the weather can change within minutes. As we are going green, by the way, the Alfa Romeos jumping everyone out on going to the track with Bottas and Joe leaving first with quite a gap to the Aston Martins following them, and then comes Ocon, Tsunoda. So let's hope they got the porpoising under control there. As yeah, Alpine was really putting in some impressive lap times there in free practice one.
As they did last practice session. Remember last week when we were in Baku? And you're
Yeah,
right, Bottas, both of the Alfa Romeos have gone out. Vettel's gone out. Magnus has gone out. Stroll's out. Ocon and the other. Just trying to see who that is.
yeah, which
Yeah.
quite a fun thing. Before the session, like about an hour before the stream even started, I was already a little bit hanging out in chat, and someone was just like, "Yeah, my prediction is that there will be a groundhog on track again."
That's true.
Um,
When was that?
and
That was
yeah, like about 30 minutes in, there was a groundhog
oh.
running across the track, and I do have a theory on that. Yeah, unfortunately, I forgot the name of who posted that, but I am fairly convinced this person is trackside with cages full of groundhogs. He's just betting on groundhogs on track and then releasing them themselves.
So 4 more weeks of winter or not? Groundhog comes out of the shadow, sees his shadow, something like that. Groundhog Day. I'm sure you guys out there would know that one. Somebody was
Oof.
saying Groundhog Day. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, their
Um,
Magnussen has been cut off in the pit lane by
mm,
an Aston Martin on his outlap there.
yeah, he has.
Now,
Not a happy camper, of course. Sitting on the radio going like that, practically.
yeah, There we go. King Choose, thank you very much. I wish everyone in chat a good free practice too, and hope your favorite driver or drivers do well. Very nice. Another 25 euros there. Thank you very much for that.
Absolutely, that was a big
For
boost there. And Jose as well too, throwing in some
yeah,
donations. Thank you much, Jose, again. To tip your announcers at least. Thank you very much. Yeah, wow, guys. So you see, we love it. The more you support you give the channel, the hopefully the better casting that we'll give you, and we'll give you more graphics and all those goodies in the future. Of course, we'll provide too. That's why it's called Racing Statistics.
yeah.
Just a nice thumbs up and a follow, is a subscribe is good.
Yeah. Also, we would have a Discord, so if you have any feedback, anything we could improve on, anything we could do better, head on over to that Discord. We have a chat on that server, especially for improvement ideas. So yeah. Yeah, what do you think? As we see the Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton there, not even with a front wing on, and a lot of mechanics around it still working on it.
Of which front wing? My apologies. I'm just reading some of the chat.
Hamilton's
Hamilton.
Hamilton's front wing is still off. They are still in the garage, and damn, my biggest cheating tool with the driver tag tracker just went offline.
Yeah, I have the same problem as well. But we do have it honestly in the racing statistics. It's working up there. As the lap times are starting to come in already, we're looking at a 15.618 step by Verstappen, and Perez just about a second, just under 8/10 actually just off that pace as Carlos goes up at a P4. Mediums as well. So Ocon set his time on the softs already, but most of the drivers on mediums, some are on the hards. Lando about to cross the line, I think, and set his first timing session here. Where's Lando go up
Yeah,
to?
with a Verstappen on a 1:15, that is quite the average race pacey lap we have seen in at free practice 1 as well. So yeah, that's looking quite normal there. As we are on board here with Norris.
I expect Bottas to be at the top of the timesheets any second right now. He's setting a lot of purples, maybe Alonso as well. As you
Absolutely.
mentioned, some serious pace there from
Yeah,
the Alpines.
Alonso has an all purple sector 1 that is actually quite impressive, but now we have yeah, Bottas will be jumping up there. Or did he dive into the pits?
No, he should still be on the final sector. Where Bottas is.
Bottas is in the pits.
No, he did. He abandoned
He
that
didn't.
lap.
Yeah. Now that is interesting. Is there an issue? Is there an issue for Alfa Romeo?
Not 100% sure. Charles Leclerc's down the casino straight right now. I wonder if he'll commit to that lap because he's got a few of those purples. As Daniel Ricciardo has a nice P3 up there, setting his one of the quickest times this weekend for the Honey Badger. Let's have a look at. I'm just waiting for Leclerc. There is Leclerc. Splits the Red Bulls there and goes up into.
Yeah, no, the
P2.
Ricciardo with 1:16.79. That is not very impressive. Of our favorite Badger there. That's not
Verstappen should
not
go
gonna do
even
him any
quicker.
good.
Bang! Verstappen does go quicker. 15 flat almost.
Yeah, with an all purple lap even. So yeah, yeah, we have Russell now left the pits as well, going out on
I'm
track there.
just seeing Charles Leclerc leaving his pit box doing something before he went out on that lap before. Not quite sure. Is he doing a burnout on the pit exit? You
Yeah,
cannot. You're not allowed to do that, are you?
His engineer advised him to do 2 burnouts to basically get the rear tires up to temperature, but Leclair said he can't. So
Yeah, I'm surprised that the engineer would not. Would the driver's disagreeing with the engineer, obviously because of the engine or something. It's quite busy on the track at the moment, as you can see on the track map. A lot of people, you can see, look at that little kerfuffle in turn 3,
yeah,
4, and 5 there. You got some of the obviously drivers moving out of the hot laps, in laps, out laps.
yeah.
But
Hamilton still in the pits, and the 2 Alfa Romeos both back into the pits. So it seems like they have some sort of an issue to resolve there.
you know, George Russell actually finally come out there for the Mercedes. Any time there for Mercedes, Hamilton's still sitting in the pit lane. Let's have a look at George Russell's first sector. As you can see, he's approaching turn 5. Coming up in a second, and then turn 6 and turn 7. Great sensation of speed as you get through here. Is sweeping left and then sweeping to the right. Easy to go into that fence out there of
Yeah, but
turn 7.
already half a second off there after sector 1. That doesn't look too good.
On the mediums, and Verstappen is, I don't know, committing to another lap where it looks like he might be getting close to getting purple coming up in a second. Well, we'll see about his first sector. Still keeping an eye on George Russell because, once again, we're not quite sure of the Mercedes pace in this free practice 2 session just yet. As Carlos Sainz goes up at a P3.
Yeah, can you hear from the car audio? It is still bouncing. Like you can hear the skid plate just hitting the ground there, the track, and it is hitting quite like regularly in like sinus curve. So that is indicating us that the porpoising is not under control yet.
I
And
think at the moment Verstappen's going to go even quicker. He did get his second sector stolen by Charles Leclerc, the quickest, but down the casino straight right now, Verstappen, he has a car completely moving out. He's got his letterbox open for the DRS into the wall of champions, hopefully not into, but past it. This should be the quickest time. Will he break the 14s now this evening? Yes.
we do. Improving 3/10 on his previous time there, leaving Leclerc 4/10 off the pace on a soft tire. So, is the Red Bulls just so much better set up at the moment, or do you think the medium is just performing better on this track?
The Ferraris seem to be, I don't know, Carlos Sainz said he's on the mediums, but Leclerc said he's on the softs. We do see sometimes that those teams prefer the different tires between them. Lewis Hamilton, we're just watching some pictures of Lewis Hamilton in the pit lane. They finally look like they might be getting ready to get out. He's in the car, ready to go. So it'll be interesting to see what sort of time he can do because Russell's only got up to P13 at the moment. We're watching a replay of Sergio Perez that I think he's just a little bit of a lock up into the La Ping corner. That's the big hairpin one right down the end, top left on
Yeah.
your trap map. Yeah, big lock up there from the Red Bull. Who'll go on the pits there and change those boots.
Probably not. Like we've seen bigger lockups. Now that was a big lockup into turn 1 there, and now I guess he's going back into the pits.
Interesting. They've got a new little. Any new livery changes this weekend? I saw something on the halo there of Carlos Sainz. Of the. I'll get it right in a minute. Perez. Mick Schumacher now. Mick Schumacher obviously needs a good weekend here. It's not had too much luck. Team radio, something that Lando Norris was saying something to his team. Now Lando and Daniel Rick, P9 and P10.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really seen any special liveries. Mercedes has a memoir in memoriam sticker on their front wing, but I forgot whom it was from. But it's not really like with special livery or something. And it looks like the Alfa Romeos are heading back out onto track.
Yeah, Verstappen looks like he might be improving. Sorry to cut you off there. Yeah, Russell's about 1.3 seconds off the pace at the moment. We still haven't seen Lewis. You guys are asking where Hamilton is. Yes, he's finally come out. Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, he is on his outlap, half the track now, going into the turn 8 and 9 chicane there.
Verstappen goes quicker again, mate, in the purple sector. It's looking like Super Max on the Super Canada track. Gilles Villeneuve, for sure. He's just going quicker and quicker. Lewis is warming up his tyres on the outlap right now. Let's see if Verstappen can break into the 14.6s, maybe a 14.5. This track seems to be improving in pace right now.
Yeah, I think as soon as we see Verstappen on a soft tire, we will see him break into the 1 minute 13s. High 1 minute 13s, but 1 minute 13s.
It's a 14.5. There it is.
Yeah.
Am I delayed? I see on the racing statistics is actually coming up quicker than what I'm saying. That's great. Even
Really?
the YouTube channel is faster.
I am currently at 46 minutes 30 seconds left. 46:25. 46:20. Is this synced up with you?
Yeah, I got it synced now. That's fine.
All right.
It's okay. Alonso, everybody's calling out that. Exactly. Sorry, I missed that completely, guys. Was I was fixing it up. Alonso came at P2.
Yeah.
What a cracker of a lap.
Well, I'm still kind of curious with the Alpine, as they really just seem to be tuning the car to produce less downforce than the others, and that they are basically getting that lap time in, especially on the straights, which they made the same mistake basically in Baku, where they just drove off everybody on the straights and then got immediately caught off guard and had to go defensive throughout the whole corner a bit. And Russell there complaining about massive hopping through turn 9. So
yeah, that was George Russell, wasn't it? As Lewis Hamilton is going to get his first lap in this evening. Goes up at a P6. That's not bad for his very first lap of qualifying practice session 2. My apologies. And we'll see what his team radio. But Russell was definitely complaining about the hopping. What turn was that? He was complaining about that again?
Through turn 9. That's the small chicane there, going into sector 3, run up onto sector 3.
Wow, yeah, it's bouncing around like crazy, and the front wing is really flexing, guys, like mad, and it almost looks like flaps on an aircraft.
Yeah, but interestingly, they call it hopping now. So, is it porpoising? Is it not? We will never know.
Let's put it this way: it's bouncing, I guarantee you, and the driver does not like it. That's pretty much a gimme. As James Allen is talking to just some pictures at the moment, showing James Allen, one of the chief engineers, chatting to Toto Wolff as we're watching some pictures of Mick Schumacher go a little bit, misses the apex, I think, on turn
8.
8, yes, and go straight through the runoff area.
Yeah, had a little snap in the steering wheel there.
Oh my, Carlos is bouncing around like crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna hurt you, really. Yeah.
I mean,
wow, that's the worst I've seen this weekend. And Carlos is on the team radio right now, going bouncing very bad, guys.
Yeah, that looks. Yeah.
Sorry, is it kangarooing? Yeah, do we have a new term there? Thank you very much. Very cool. How about kangarooing? Great. Yeah, I reckon we'll go with that one. Let's call it. You can coin that one. It's called kangarooing.
Very Australian.
Bouncing like a pogo stick for scientists. He is, mate. If you guys could, if you see it, you will see it, obviously. If you can, get to see your pictures, obviously, stuff like that with the highlights and stuff later on, you will notice it. And, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, that's amazing. Like, you have to love this chat.
Charles Leclair did set some pretty good times, but he's still on a flying lap. But yeah, some of them are really complaining. I think Sebastian's just, and once again, catching some of the drivers off. I think you said they were turn 9, they go straight through the runoff area rather than going around the second S.
Yeah, missing turn 8, going through the runoff area inside of turn 9. So the issue seems to be turn 8 there.
Charles set the fastest first sector, but the second sector, and now he's got the painful third sector of the Casino Straight, and then crossing the wall of champions. He's going to cross the line right now. Where will Charles Leclerc go?
That car looks like it's kangarooing like
P2.
crazy.
Yeah, they're still getting good times, but that's because they're sacrificing it, isn't it? They're saying they should raise the high a little bit because they have it too low. That's the reason why it's causing that kangarooing effect.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's really,
people asking
really.
about Bottas. That's true, mate. He came out, he set some good purples earlier, and then boxed. Does he have a problem?
He basically went all purple and kept the all purple for quite a while. Meanwhile, he lost it with the very fast laps there of Verstappen and Leclerc.
He's out of the car. He might have an issue. You're right. He's sitting out of the car. They're working on the car. No, both Latifi and Alex Albon are sitting in there for Williams as well. But they're in the pit lane. I don't see them in the car or out of the car. Once again, this is Latifi's home track. He really needs to put on a good performance here. I mean, might not be looking at a race seat next season. It could be an issue for Bottas.
I mean, the two Williams setting a 1:17. That's very uncompetitive. Like even for them.
FIA message coming up, mate. At the moment, you want to read that one? Gasly has been investigated after session for failing to follow race direction instructions. I don't know what specifically that was about. Do you guys know?
Yeah, turn 13, he went straight, misjudged his braking point or something. And then there is this white line to rejoin the track, and he crossed that line.
Good on you. Stroll's home race as well, too. Absolutely, yeah, okay. But I don't think Stroll has to worry about his race seat at this moment. More Nicholas Latifi does. Especially he's been outperformed by Alex Albon quite well, and he was outperformed, obviously, by George Russell last season.
Yeah, no, Stroll is... I don't know. He's not looking good, but he's also not looking too bad. So I guess he will be able to keep his seat. Also, I wouldn't really know who Aston Martin would sign. I mean, yeah, but I think Latifi is gone.
Stroll's out on the track, and as well as Vettel. Vettel's not really improving on his time, but Stroll set a purple in some part of it. Now, he's definitely improving through his first sector. He's about 1.5 tenths down currently on the provisional leader there of Max Verstappen. So Lance got practically a lot of this track to themselves, as you can see on the track map.
Absolutely.
Good time out there, good time in. Let's have a look.
He's the only one ahead of him is his teammate, so absolutely fine and lonely.
I'm sure you can hear the grandstand as it goes through La Ping. They'll be cheering for the local Canada hero here. He's on the soft tires. Let's see what he can get. Middle sector is also an improvement for him. I think this could be up around where Vettel is, as Vettel's in P5.
Yeah,
maybe
sectors look like he is struggling with the maximum speed there, as towards the end of that straight, he is not improving on his personal time, but over the line with a 1:15.4. That's not too bad, placing him
I called it.
Hence behind his teammate there. So yeah.
I called it, mate. I'm sorry. I do too much esports casting. It's just so predictable to see that they look the sector times that they're going to be pushing around with their teammate. That's good. Obviously, I'm sure you would have been happy to be ahead of Vettel, but still, this is a practice session. We still have 38 minutes to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And
sorry, then that rain was lurking too, you said, right? Possibility of it towards the end of the session?
Yeah, about 50%. And you can see how the clouds are getting denser out there. They're not over the track yet, but you can see something brewing there on the horizon.
And just watching a replay right now of Bottas going. Remember, we saw him, as you mentioned there, where he was setting all the purples, lighting up the board, and he abandoned that lap, pulled into his pit box. I'm not quite sure. He was saying something on the radio to his team before he pulled into his pit box. He's back into the car, and it looks like they're going to send him back out again, which is good. Because he has yet to set a time. His first lap that he did was a flyer, but he had to abandon it and go back in the pit lane. They've looked at it. The track is relatively clear right now, so I would like to get out there if I was a driver and get some bankers in. Why have to complain about traffic? Because Alex is out. A virtual safety car has been deployed.
Yeah, I have just seen that by racing statistics, but why? I haven't seen that on my screen. Oh, now it popped up. All right.
Oh, it's Albon. It's going slow. There might be an issue with the
Mm.
Williams, as you can see on the
Yeah,
track map, guys. He's around turn
very slow.
3, 4 and 3 now.
Impressively slow.
Oh, there's a can on the track. There's an
God,
aluminum
man,
can.
what idiot throws a can on
Yeah,
track, man?
Marshall's just picked it up. Was it a full can? Somebody was saying there's an applause from the crowd, of course, because they're glad that the marshal went out there and got it. It's lucky, too, that the fact that there's not a lot of cars out on track, too, so they can easily retrieve that. Virtual safety car will be ending. Alex, is that the reason why Alex went slow, or did Alex actually hit the can? We're going to see if there's a replay of it, or he was just reporting it.
Yeah, Alex is back into the pits, though. Seemingly. No, wait, that's Latifi still in the pits. Yeah, no, Albon is still out on the track, so he did not hit the can.
Yeah. Luckily, they'll do a lot of damage in a Formula 1 car at 200 miles an hour. Will Buxton's down there in Alfa Romeo talking about that situation. We'll see. Hopefully, we get Bottas back out. He's still in the pit lane at the moment. Somebody says throw a banana peel out there. It's not Donkey Kong, mate. I'm sure some of the drivers would like to if they could.
I have seen a mod for the Formula 1 2021 game where you can drive the Mario Kart tracks with the Formula 1 cars.
Oh, yeah. All right.
It's insane.
Yeah, I love it. See, you guys make it all fun. Thank you very much for tuning in for Racing Statistics for the free practice session. You have my voice, Mr. Biggles. You have Feral once again back for the second practice session. We might be doing qualifying tomorrow. We're not 100% sure just yet, but without you guys, it's not the fun. Appreciate those donations as well and your useful information. Keeping us sharp. Alex Albon's back out on track, and he's improving on his personal best, as well as Vettel is improving on their personal bests.
Yeah. And Gavin, yes, Formula 1 2021, there is the Mario Kart roads, like the Rainbow Road and shit, is available for Formula 1 2021 as a mod. So yeah, Vettel seems strong out there. Currently really improving on his times through Sector 1 and 2 at least. So and there we have Albon also improving on Sector 1 and 2 times, while he is going over the line with not too much of an improvement though, still in the 1:16 there.
Bottas has come back in the pits. I think he came straight back in the pit lane. There was definitely an issue with the Alfa Romeo.
Yeah.
He went out for an outlap and is straight back in. Nicholas Latifi sitting in the car. Bob out there was asking that question about the porpoising effect, mate. Well, we're calling it the kangarooing now, aren't we?
Yeah.
It is very bad for, I would say, the Ferrari looked the worst. Verstappen's going quicker again. I think this man is at the moment looking solid for a pole.
Man on a mission, but he is out on the soft as well. So now you see 1:13.9. Well, you don't. You see a 1:14.1, but I wasn't far off, only by 2/10.
I think as the tracks are improving, and 33 minutes to go, I think definitely a 39 is going to be easy. Another donation, guys. Groundhog.
Jose Martinez.
But there's another question from.
Yeah, first of all, we have a donation of Jose Martinez. 2,500 watching and only 74 likes. Like, that is weak. Hit that like button and share the link to the stream, especially to your friends that do not enjoy Formula 1, just to annoy them.
Yes. I'm seeing 220 likes. Take care of that if you do hit the like button, of course. Yeah. As well, who else do you think to that question that Bob was asking about the porpoising? I mean, to me, it's definitely the Ferrari looked the worst. Who would you say would also be looking pretty bad?
Yeah. It especially I don't know, but yeah, also King Chu Rolling Studios, Groundhog Driver of the Day. I'm on board with that. It was a cute groundhog, and he should get driver of the day. He did
Yeah.
the job.
We should get little remote control cars out there and put groundhogs in them and have the drivers drive them around for a couple laps for fun. Fernando Alonso's just warming up his tyres. So that's your grid positions, as you can see, guys. Verstappen, is just pretty much dominating so far this practice session. Ahead of the Ferraris, Alonso with a great P4 up there, just ahead of Perez. And then you got both the Aston Martin's doing a fantastic job. They need to, because they're not doing too good in the championship so far.
Absolutely. Now we get a hot lap of Alonso. Really giving it his all, apparently. Looks very aggressive on the power there. So, yeah. And our racing statistics admin, the groundhog is now called Gary.
Gary, yeah. Verstappen, Alonso's coming in lap, but Verstappen is just going purple. But to see Alonso, I'd like to see Alonso improving. He's improving on his personal best through Sector 1, which was a 40. Let's have a look through Sector 2.
Also
he's
improving
about
on
half a second down.
Well, half a second down still puts him into P2 at the moment. So
yep, absolutely.
If he can show off the power of that rocket ship in the back of that car down the straight, that will definitely be a P2.
It's not porpoising very much either down the Casino Straight. It's not Japan.
And,
should be good for Alonso.
Yeah, Leclair out there setting lots of greens and purple mini sectors as well. So I don't think Alonso will be all too long in that P2. Alonso won't be in P2 at all, actually. Still in fourth, but 1 second off.
As it looks like Leclerc might have set the fastest middle sector. He's definitely, has set the fastest middle sector. Charles Leclerc. I don't think it's going to be able to take it to Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen at the first sector backed off, I think, for sector 2 and 3.
Yeah,
but let's see if Charles Leclerc can get it down to about half a second, I think, or maybe 0.4 off.
Yeah, Russell just put it in P3, and Leclerc. Yeah, it looks like the car is still kangarooing a bit there, but it has looked way worse. So I think they have found quite a sweet spot, as he is only 0.08 off the pace now. And
1/10. 1/10. And sorry, it looks like coming out of the pit lane that was it Lando Nelly had a collision with, Carlos Sainz nearly had a collision with Lando. I made it be an unsafe release, so I might be looking at that for Stewart's. They didn't collide.
I don't think they look at that. Like when the pit lane's busy and everyone is fast to react, and Sainz did go on the brake soon enough there, so I don't think that this will bring any investigation with it, to be honest.
Go Team Groundhog. Yeah. Oh, so much fun hanging out with you guys. Thank you very much for tuning in to the free practice session too. Weather still iffy, but doesn't look too cloudy for a possible rain shower. 30 minutes to go.
A perfect taking of wind measurements while filming the curly hair of Mattia Binotto. That is,
that's true.
Looks like there is quite some wind gusts out there.
It's noted driving unnecessary. The pit exit. Car 5 Vettel and car 55 Carlos Sainz. It wasn't Vettel, and that's another incident. Driving unnecessarily slowly.
Yeah.
So does that mean the new wind is for the teams now to determine the weather? They just look at Bettini's hair?
They just look at Binotto's hair.
Binotto's hair, yes.
The wind, yes.
All right. Who's on the flyer? Alonso's improved in his first sector. Vettel's improving as well in his first and second sector, so this will be interesting. Russell's come out again, and we'll see. Lewis Hamilton, Latifi is on the track there. Kevin, Ricciardo. Now it's getting busier on the track map, as you can see.
It's basically everyone out except for Verstappen, Tsunoda, and unfortunately still Bottas.
I think Vettel's going to improve his time, my friend. He's going to be crossing the line in a second there. Let's see what he can get the Aston Martin up to. Bang, P4.
Very nice. That's where I want him to be.
Daniel Ricciardo's improving on his time. So here we go. Daniel Ricciardo's in the track. He needs it. He needs a really good race. Norris is up at a P6 now. He needs to be around and matching at the P6 as Alonso is in P5.
Absolutely.
Let's see if the Honey Badger can do it.
McLaren's
look too okay, right, mate, for the porpoising? They don't look too bad, actually. No.
Yeah, lots of screen there, actually 100% green through the track until now, down the straight. He is not able to improve on his personal best mini sectors, but there we go. Last few meters, and he puts it into P8, right behind Norris. 400ths of a second behind Norris only, so I guess that's good.
Well, it's good to be similar to your team pace, of course, your teammate pace. You don't want to be that drastically different. As you can see, if you look obviously down the racing on the leaderboard, that most of the drivers are in pairs. It's just Russell really, because we know that Hamilton had some issue with that car,
Yeah,
and you can see the big
and
pace difference between Russell. Yeah.
there we get a beautiful shot on the live race. Just across the river, there's actually torrential rain. So, yeah, and we still have about 26 minutes to go. So I think we will see at least intermediates in this session.
I hope so, as Lando has a bit of a lock-up moment. Where was that? Through, I think turn 1, turn 2 maybe? Anyway, still massive porpoising effect there. Sorry, kangarooing, we call it, from Carlos and the Ferrari. And he went straight over the chicane. Now, you thought your back would be hurting and your neck hurting enough from the porpoising kangarooing, and now he just went straight over a chicane and get even more injury to insult to his back and his neck. He kept it out of the fence.
Yeah.
Here come the mud tires, Sarah.
Guy is
Sarah
getting
some mud tires. That's Hungary, sorry, in Budapest. That's generally the one where you see, I don't know if you guys have seen the pictures before, they slide down the mountain, you know, when it's pouring rain. Now, Hungary actually was one of those tracks where it's always generally rainy and do a mudslide.
Yeah, great shot, like all around the track. It's just raining, but the track itself, dry and blue sky.
Another fantastic donation out there, my friend. You know.
Yeah, Alonso and Vettel are doing really well. Let's hope they get this type of performance in the actual race. Maybe if we're lucky, we get them to share a podium. Now that would be great. Like those early on heroes, basically of the last era of Formula One, sharing a podium amongst each other. That would be incredibly nice. And
Absolutely.
yes,
Yeah.
as our racing statistics admin says, you are a hero. You are a hero to us. We actually all have a picture of you, candlelit, hung up behind our screens, so we're always reminded of the absolute awesomeness that that's called King Jew Rolling Studios right there.
Yeah, much appreciated. We love it. We do. Just having a look at the moment of replay of Sebastian Vettel. That's straight into the pit lane, and he's complaining on the radio about something. We don't get the message coming up just yet. I should actually turn the audio up so I can probably hear it, but anyway.
Yeah, just wanted to say, if you wouldn't be talking over the radio, I would have heard what he was saying.
Sorry, my apologies. So looking at something underneath the car. Yeah, I didn't realize you could hear it. Okay. Remind me. Every time I see the team radio, I'll do like a TED. Just 1 second, Ted. 1 second. Just say that. 1 second, Biggles.
Yeah. All right. Will do. So, yeah. We get just some shots of the Aston Martin there, standing in the pits. But there we have Carlos Sainz joining the track back in the same unsafe manner as Gasly did before. Curious if that's going to be noted and investigated as well.
23 minutes. So we got the track temperature and all that's 26 degrees for the air temperature. It looks like track temperature is about 36.9. So we'll keep an eye. You can keep an eye on that.
Pogo sticks, so we get distracted from our very high levels of Formula One addiction.
Yes, and quickly out there, come on. Who's the first one to say? What's the groundhog name again?
Gary.
First trivia. No, let them do it. All right, you got it. It's fine.
I wanted once in my life. I wanted to win a trivia. Okay.
All right, you got it. It's a little quiet at the moment, guys, for the track. A few cars are out there, but there's no real improvements. They're just probably maybe a little bit of testing on some of the fuel loads or not.
Yeah, looking at tire degradation, fuel loads, how the car's behaving. There is just nothing really happening throughout the sectors. And yeah, the track is quiet, very
Apologize. The stream is going a little haywire at the moment. I think the groundhog might be chewing on the cables here at Racing Statistics. So just bear with us. To technical issues. It'll be fixed up in a minute. If you can hear us or not, give us a thumbs up if you can still hear us, or is it just the pictures?
Like and subscribe to the channel if you can still hear us or something.
Damn groundhog, yeah, maybe.
Okay, something was crashing in Streamlabs, and yeah, no, it's okay. They can still hear us.
Green bull.
Yeah, that was the green bull here.
Green bull gives you crashes. There you go. Can you hear us at the audio, or is the whole thing going?
Yeah, no, they can hear us. I have
okay.
I see a lot of thumbs up, and I see some reaction messages to what we are saying.
Rain incoming. Okay, good idea. It is getting very overcast now. We'll give you the feedback. Of course, you can't see the pictures, but there is only a couple of people out on track. Nobody's setting any purples. I think so. Is that Ganju complaining about traffic? It looked like a McLaren went past him, and then McLaren's lifted and let him back.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. You should say Team Radio. I should be quiet.
Yeah, no, I just missed it, but now Team Radio. All right. Yeah, it was Ricciardo complaining about traffic as well. So.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. 20 minutes to go. If you want to get out there and get some dry sessions in, as Bottas is out of the car, he's definitely had some issues. Unfortunately, he hasn't set a time. And if he's not inside the car,
20 minutes.
He's got his helmet on, so he is ready to get in there. But unfortunately, nothing. The rain is probably lurking. It's getting dark of the skies. So hopefully, we get this fixed in a minute out there, guys. So you get the pictures up there, Racing Statistics.
When we will be back, and so far, I don't know. Let's talk about Sharks.
Hang on, just real quick there. Charles Leclair, I'm showing that the power units used. See, he's not in the penalty. I did hear that he's not going to get a penalty.
Yeah. Apparently, the engine that blew up in Baku was the first engine of the season. So, Racing Statistics telling us there that we are back. So
we're back. Hey, good on you.
Type Gary the Groundhog in chat if we're back, so we know you can hear us again.
Yeah, Gaza, Gary the Groundhog.
And until then, so our viewers don't miss any information. What's your thought on, I don't know, starfish?
Oh, that's random. If I like starfish or not?
Yeah. What's your favorite noble gas?
I love.
That's okay. I see some
helium because we were on it before.
Yeah, we see some Gary the Groundhog, so we are back. What was that you were saying about Leclair earlier?
Oh, not quite sure, mate. What? I didn't say anything about Leclair earlier. What are you talking about? We spoke about everybody.
All right. I thought, okay, people arguing over their favorite noble gases in a Formula One stream. Only Racing Statistics, greatest alternate commentary channel out there. So I see a lot of argon out there.
You know what I like? I like H2O, even though it's not a noble gas, because it's water. It's great, but you split those elements up, and you get two very highly flammable. It's quite amazing, isn't it? Noble gases.
They are not noble gases. Noble gases.
Oh,
no, I knew them all by heart once. It's basically helium, neon, argon, radon, and a few more.
Sun is helium, yeah. Anyway, science lesson over.
Yeah, it seems like science hasn't been your strong suit.
Yeah, no, it's not too bad at science. Like, just I only do quantum physics, so not up my alley.
Oh, right. Yeah. That is fascinating right now. There's really not much There's not really much happening on track out there. Like no times that are tumbling. Lots of drivers, lots of traffic. Everybody kind of going onto their high fuel runs. But if you look at that sky, it looks like it is raining at any second now. And then you see the car drive by, and you go from the eastern sky over to the western sky, and you just see like sunshine and everything, and it is making me incredibly tense to see that sky and to await if there is rain to be coming or not.
I would like you to close the window up in the commentary box with me in a second, mate. Otherwise, we might get a bit of a shower. I didn't bring my umbrella or my poncho. Has the track temperature decreased? Hang on, team radio. Did you catch that one?
Nope.
So George
Seems
Russell was
like
saying something
I am
interesting.
about 2 seconds ahead of you.
You have to call it out then. I'll have to refresh. Should we put a poll up, do you think, out there, guys? So the racing statistics to see who predicts who'll be on the top of the pre-practice 2 session?
I don't think we will see a lot of change there. I mean, with that weather.
Okay. What about a question? Who will they go on to inters before the end of the session, something like that?
Yeah, that would be an interesting poll out there. So yeah.
Yeah, you can see guys on the times up there, they're just putting in yellow, so they're not doing any personal bests at the moment. They could just be doing heavier fuel loads or different.
Yeah,
They're on
get
softs
the
and mediums,
aerodynamic
not
tweaks,
hards. And on top of it,
lower the car millimeter by millimeter to see what's the exact threshold they can go to be
set the
as
poles up.
possible without porpoising. So
That's right. Yep.
it is only 15 minutes left, but I will go with a yes, and we will
You got to click the
see.
button, mate. Click it. I'm clicking it. I'm not 100% sure. I'm 50-50 on this one. I think.
Yeah,
all right. I'm not telling you what I'm.
Everyone is 50-50 on that. We are 49-51 at the moment, so
Why is Perez so slow?
yeah,
That's a very good question. He's
11,
out
but
very often. Oh, yeah, you're right. I
there
didn't
were
realize.
no team radios. He was doing out putting in his laps. He is out on track right now. Yeah, there was nothing said about technical issues or something, so oof. That was a big lockup of Vettel there.
Which turn was that in?
Into turn 13, at the pit lane entry.
Aha. We're on board looking at pictures of the Red Bull there of Sergio Perez. Speaking of right now, we're mentioning him now. The cameras have gone to him. He's about 1 second off the leader, which is his teammate.
Yeah,
which is a big gap.
Yeah, but Vettel now has been noted as well for his unsafe rejoining of the track. While I think this is a little bit over dramatic there, as he is drove past on the wrong side of an orange board into an empty track. So
Perez is flying. I saw something on the track just as Perez went through a corner. I'm not quite sure if anybody's going to pick it up on the cameras, but I saw something. I don't know if it was just caught a glimpse of a Terrifier or if there was some trash or something on the track. I'm not sure.
maybe Gary's back. Maybe Gary's back.
Gary's back. Yeah, Gary the Hedgehog guy's out there. If you were with us earlier, yeah, it's darkening up the skies. It's probably just a Terrifier that I caught.
Yeah, no, it's Gary the Groundhog. No
Not
spikes.
Gary the Kangaroo.
Now that would be Carl the Kangaroo.
Carl the Kangaroo. Kenny the Kangaroo, my friend. Or
Kenny
Skippy the Kangaroo. Perez has got to put some times in, but nobody, if you can see, everybody is not improving. So the track temperatures are either too
Yeah.
cool or something's happened.
Yeah, the mini sectors at the moment are all yellow. So yeah, with all the mini sectors going yellow and the track being incredibly busy, them probably trying to get the last few laps in before the rain starts. I think it's time to talk about your poor science education. Yeah.
Well, actually, I wanted to ask you a quick question, and if you guys out there as well too, thank you very much for tuning in here. Racing Statistics, free practice too, with the Biggles and with the Feral. Do you guys are anybody expecting rain for qualifying tomorrow?
Oof. I will just pass on this question as I have absolutely no idea.
See how I avoided the science question? That's what I used to do at school all the time. When a teacher asked me a question, I said, "Well, excuse me. Well, actually, I'm just curious. How long have you been teaching for?" Anyway, yeah. Sorry, guys. We haven't. You can see the laps. You can see a lot of traffic have gone out now. So this could be the very final run before the rain comes. If or not, vote for it. 287 of you fantastic, lovely members out there have elected to vote already. Get your votes in. That's about a quarter of you total. So come on, start voting. 10 minutes left.
I like that one of Al Schaffer there, Willie the Whistle Pig. That's
It's
a
turned
nice
into
one.
a groundhog names, kangaroo names. I don't think it's going to rain now, actually. Those clouds don't look like they're too close. As Jose was asking, do they have a 90% chance of rain? They do have a 90% chance of rain in Montreal. Good. Thank you very much for that. 10 minutes to go.
For qualifying, probably. So yeah, no, the sky is lighting back up. So
They just turned the illumination on. That's all. Turned into a night race now.
yeah.
I bet you some of you guys would probably like that in Europe. Thank you very much. I know it's very late in a lot of Europe right now. So stick with us for another 9 minutes if you can, and you'll be able to wrap up the practice session too, and then you can go to bed. Give you permission. Unfortunately, Valtteri Bottas is not going to go out.
Yeah, no, we won't see Bottas back out. Like that front wing is demounted and no more tires on the car. So yeah, that's
And the pole is finished.
yeah, no, looks like that's gonna be it for him.
53% of you said no, which looks like it might very well be the case as drivers are now starting to make some lock-up errors. We'll see Charles Leclair go through the final corner straight on and had to go around. Nicholas Latifi, I think, had a bit of a lock-up. The track is really tricky for these gladiators right now, and that's the second time. Well, definitely the final corner. But turn 13 is catching them off guard. They're locking up into that one.
Yeah, well, it is the back straight of that track where you just want to have the power down and keep it down as long as possible. So you are going to test out the limit into turn 13. That is absolutely okay.
Another lockup from Kevin. That was before that turn, but he got through the S's.
Yeah, that was turn 8, 9 chicane there where he locked up.
7 minutes left. The sunshine's back out on Circuit de Ville now.
Yeah, but if we have a look at the graphic there with the power unit elements used, I think we will see a storm of penalties and grid penalties right there, as basically everyone is on their third engine, third charger, third MGUH, third MGUK, and so on. I think we're gonna see penalties there quite a lot.
Yeah, and just to give you feedback on that one, Charles Leclerc won't get a grid place penalty.
Yeah, it was actually his first engine that blew up. He is getting a new engine, but it is only the third of the season, so yeah, he was saved there.
And Jose, thank you. You are our fantastic follower. You get some nice little icons to use there, courtesy of Racing Statistics. Any ones you want. Still, once again, across the board, guys, a lot of cars are out on the track, but they are all just not setting any personal best. I haven't seen a single green or a purple light up in the last, at least, 10 minutes, mate? Have we, Feral?
Yeah.
But they're doing longer runs on these tires. So a lot of drivers are out there doing about 10 laps at the moment. Charles Leclerc's done 10 laps on these soft tires. And just doing the testing for more of the long run, because I figured they probably guessed that they're not going to get any good time out of this track now. And it is a practice session for a reason, isn't it? Oh, finally, I saw Vettel actually light up with a green in third sector for a part of it. Millisector of green. First one I've seen in a long time.
A little bit there. That is the mini sector 3-5. So that should be around turn 12, I reckon. So
what are the new rules with the Mercs that it's been asked there by Alicia? I think that is. I'm not sure what that's referring to.
That's probably referring to the whole porpoising or pogo sticking or kangarooing.
Kangarooing, yeah.
Or I don't know. Isn't Carpador that Pokemon fish that basically just flaps around and jumps? Might be as well.
I don't know that, my friend. Sorry, I was too
I don't
busy in
know.
science. Learning the noble gases when you were playing Pokemon.
Yeah.
That's fun for the chat, of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're out there just doing heavy runs at the moment, guys. So it looks like maybe heavy fuel runs, and they're just doing multiple laps on these tires to get an idea of the age.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, the rule change will probably refer to the FIA intervening with the whole porpoising issue. As they have said, they will also start to measure the vertical G-forces in the car and use those free practice sessions 1 and 2, maybe even free practice 3 as well, to define a metric on basically how many bounces per minute or what G-force accumulation per bounce per minute or something like that. They have been very vague and unclear on that so far, but yeah, this will basically make them more or less bouncy and give the FIA a metric to check what's happening. So yeah, it seems like that really backfired on Mercedes, that protesting there.
Final 4 minutes is looking rather snug because of the weather radar. It's gone super dark all of a sudden. There was also a great question I saw that was asked there in a second. That Gula, I think, is asking. He lives in West Montreal, having crazy winds. But I'm seeing at the moment that its winds are about 11.5 kilometers an hour south. It's picked up a little
Well,
bit.
that's the average. That's the average displayed. Yeah. It is very gusty. Like you basically have no wind and then you have just gusts with about 23, 24, 25 kilometers an hour.
And on the back straight, the casino straight. Lewis Hamilton's gone in the pit lane and he was on the team radio complaining about something before.
Yes, he just said that the car is undrivable now. So yeah, but he has been complaining about it being undrivable for not sure. Let me think. I guess around 9 races or something. So it's just like him saying that the tires are gone, Bono. So
Bono. George Russell's done 11 laps on these tires. Once again, they're all doing tire runs as the clouds, as the curtains are about to close in this qualifying session. Sorry, practice session 2.
Yeah, most spectacle at the moment with all those long runs going on is really just like the sky. It is looking very angry indeed. But I think we'll I think we will just miss the rain with a free practice.
Marcus is asking a question about Charles does not have one spare engine to use. He's used all 3, but it's been confirmed by the FIA that he won't get a penalty for this one, as you said, because it's the first engine, right?
Yes, the first engine that blew up. They used an old one in Baku, and they are now putting in a new engine, but it is only their 3rd engine of the season, so they are fine.
but there will definitely be grid penalties for them later this season because I don't think they can make that engine last for the next 13
No.
races,
George
including this
Russell?
one.
Sorry to cut you off there. George Russell's taken behind one of his old Williams team there, just getting a nice toe down the main straight, the Casino Straight. Will he get past the Williams? This looks almost like they're racing under the heavy braking. Will he go committing through to the World Champions?
Yeah.
Yes, he will.
Did you hear that scraping of the board?
No.
Russell's car is still porpoising.
Yeah, not as bad as that was a great camera angle as well too, with the nose cam there of the Mercedes. Yeah, but not as bad as the Ferraris. The Ferraris look horrible, but they still got the pace, as you can see. Charles Leclair in P2 and Carlos Sainz on the track. Charles Leclerc's finished, I think, his practice session. It's 1 minute and change to go. Looking at the livery there of Lewis Hamilton's helmet, I believe there. So you guys get a chance to Google that and have a look at the helmets for the weekend.
Yeah. Lewis Hamilton's rainbow love is love.
Russell's bouncing like a pogo stick, Jose says. Yep.
Yep.
Not as bad as the pogo sticks for the Ferraris. You'd feel like you're actually on a pouncing horse, aren't you? On a Ferrari, that's what it feel like. I'm jumping up and down on a horse when it's galloping.
Probably yes. So we have 30 seconds left to the checkered flag.
Everybody, you can see out on track, just doing their runs. Most people are on about, what are we looking at? About 14 laps, I believe, there for one of the Red Bulls.
If you look at those trees in the background, now you have like very stormy winds. So if that practice session would have started like half an hour later, it would have probably be aborted. I'll call it now. The track will be flooded overnight as well, and tomorrow in free practice 3, we will not see very fast laps as the whole rubber will be washed off overnight.
Oh, good call. You're going to call that, okay? We'll mark your words to that tomorrow. That'd be good for the porpoises, won't it?
Absolutely.
Start swimming.
So, yeah, there we go. We are on the checkered flag.
Nothing will change in the leaderboard at this point. Hamilton's performance is obviously something that he needs to look at. Great performance there from Vettel, of course, up into P4. As Aston Martin needs some good points here this weekend. Alonso doing Alonso magic. Gasly doing Gasly magic, but it's difficult for Gasly, as we spoke about, because obviously with the re-signing there of Perez, and they're going to keep their golden boy Max Supermax, where does he go in the future for Gasly? And then Russell, great performance there, getting ahead of both the Red Bulls of Daniel Ricciardo and Lando Norris in P8 and 9.
Yeah, I could see a move of Gasly over to McLaren, replacing Ricciardo.
Yeah, there could be a possible swap between there for sure. I don't think that would be fair. But then again, will he? I mean, if he can outperform the McLarens, why would you want to change the car?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't know. I think Gasly just wants to move out of the AlphaTauri, just so he can go somewhere where he might get a car that wins. I mean, AlphaTauri is still a team, basically a sister team of Red Bull, and they will never get past the Red Bulls. So if you want to win, you can't drive an AlphaTauri.
True. Just a question out there from HJ Beats. Say what happened to Bottas, just to give you an update if you have joined. Here's some technical issues in the garage. He didn't have a crash or anything like that. He went out, he was pretty quick in one lap, pulled it in the garage, had technical issues, went out for another out lap, came back in, so he hasn't set a time at all.
Going incredibly quick again. Setting purples on his outlap twice, but never finished the lap and just pulled it back into the pits, and the car is pretty much disassembled at the moment. So
yeah, working on it, of course, probably all night. Errol, guess what they got to do right now, mate? Because the session's over. They all line up onto the main straight and do some burnouts. Some practice starts, actually, more than anything.
Yeah. That is what we have now. And there we go. King Chu with another 25 euros. I hope you all had a great free practice and all your favorite drivers did well. Question for y'all: which driver impressed you the most? Biggles.
To me, my friend, I would have to say Vettel. Aston Martins have been really underperforming, And that's a very good practice session, I have to say, from Vettel to get his car up into there, because considering Lance Stroll, the local hero, P12, so he really did put a great performance in. I'd say maybe, but Alonso's generally been doing that in the last couple of practice sessions, so Vettel for me. And you, mate?
Yeah, absolutely. Vettel being up there and Alonso being up there as well. As I don't know, I have said this before that everything in me screams against Alonso, and I just think he is a very unsympathetic person, but everything he does is kind of great. And I hate that it is, because I don't want to like him, and I don't even know why. Like, I can't say a single bad thing about Alonso. He is funny,
Yeah,
he's a team player,
right.
everything. But it's just like, if I see him, it's just like, fuck off. And I don't know why.
I got you covered.
I feel so bad for it, because he's not doing anything wrong, but he's just like this. I don't know. Maybe it's just his face or something. But
Yeah, well,
you know, at the
King,
same
I wanted
time,
to ask you that question, obviously, because thank you very much for the donation. You get to, I wanted to your opinion on that, obviously, as well. Bob's going to bed. Thank you very much. Hope to listen to us tomorrow. Yeah,
yeah,
well, we'll see, mate. Absolutely.
yeah,
Well,
Bob, you have a great night.
thank
So
you as
yeah,
well.
now
Yep.
with Alonso, somehow at the same time, I hate to see him up there as much as I love seeing him up there. It's just weird, but yeah, they're bad thing kind of that we are having Perez 1 second off his teammate there. That
Yeah,
is,
but I mean, that's a free practice session too. So, you've got a practice session tomorrow to try to get it sorted. And of course, well,
yeah, and he
qualifying
was
is
pretty
where
much on pace in free practice 1, so that is absolutely fine.
King Cho says he was surprised nobody said Bottas. He did set the fastest lap after all. Well, he was going to, Mr. King. He was going to, but unfortunately, he headed the pit lane. But yeah, is that your man, your pick?
Yeah, Jose
Jose
Martinez, thanks for the great stream. I had a blast. We'll see you in free practice 3 and quali tomorrow. Hope you all have a great rest of your day and tomorrow. Absolutely, Jose. Thank you for that $5 donation right there. We had quite a good time as well. Hope everyone else in chat was happy with all the things we did here. Of course, we do hope that you all have a great rest of your day and a great tomorrow as well. And always remember, just go out and do one random good deed for any stranger you can occur. Just, brighten a stranger's day just a little bit. So, yeah, I've been Feral. The other sexy voice there has been Biggles, and I guess we'll see you back for free practice 3 tomorrow then.